I am Andrew Marshall. My family and I have been attending Christ Church since 2019, and it's an honor and privilege to get to speak just briefly with you this morning. I have the song from Frozen 2 stuck in my head. My family loves to watch the Frozen movies. Olaf sings, "Things will all make sense when I get older." And part of you wants to just dismiss Olaf and say, hey, things do not make more sense as you get older. Somehow we all know this. And yet we dismiss him a little too quickly, I think, because as your life goes on, there are times when you are granted clarity. One of my favorite stories in the Bible, all of the Bible, is the story of the Emmaus Road, where the disciples are walking along the way and Jesus has been crucified. They're trying to make sense of everything that has transpired in their life, things that don't make sense and weren't supposed to happen. Jesus comes alongside them, but they don't know it's Jesus, and he feigns ignorance. What are you guys talking about? Like, oh, are you just a stranger? You've not heard? And it's this really interesting dialogue where he engages them and allows them to kind of work this out for themselves for a while. And epistemologist and theologian Esther Meek says that our longing to know is deeply human. In other words, it's not just that we have information, but it's that we actually long to know. We want to connect the dots. We need to, and it's actually okay. It's something that is just part of who we are as humans. And at a certain point in that story, Jesus reveals himself to them, and they're like, yes, were not our hearts burning within us as he spoke? So this morning, I would invite you to think about your own Christ Church story. I've thought about mine and all of the little dots that were connected for me along the road as my family and I were looking for a new experience in church. And that's an understatement. But as we were seeking and searching, I was walking along something of my own Emmaus Road and contemplating the many deaths in my life, deaths of dreams, deaths of opportunities, actual loss of life. And among the many things that we were looking for was a community that also knew how to hold the tension of both resurrection and death. And quite honestly, the communities that we'd been a part of couldn't do that. It's either resurrection or nothing. It's either happy all the time, or if you've had tragedy, we don't know what to do with you, quite honestly. And so that was a big one. There were so many other little things that if I were to sit here and list them all out, I'd get in trouble for going too long. But one of them being purple flowers out front that we can thank Carrie Blankenship for. That was important. My daughters, my kids, I was willing to sacrifice my own church experience for the sake of my children. And so to have them, in one sense, bless what we were going to do, because like Lindsay said last week, it started with the Google search. And so the photos that were posted of the church invited us in, the welcome that we received from Christine, and then of all things, the day that we showed up was All Saints Sunday. I didn't know what All Saints Sunday meant. It meant quite honestly nothing to me at the time, but I soon realized that it meant that this is a community that knows how to hold the tension of both death and resurrection as we remember those that we lost in the year past. So there are so many. Everyone here probably knows as well or better than me all the wonderful things that this community does, as Father Justin referenced, whether it's New Hope or Thursday Night Lights or Family Promise, or even just the wonderful opportunities we have to engage together as a community. Men's Steak Night, Pub Theology. I'm a part of a group called the Holy Smokers. Those are things that in many ways they're wonderful for everyone, and they're also special to the people who are involved in them, because you realize, wow, there's a place for me here. Not to say that it's for everyone, but for those of us that are here, we've found that this is wonderful. This is for me. So as you consider what you're going to do in the coming year, think about your own story. That would be my invitation. We often want to think about others and all the good things we do. And again, we do a lot of good things. A lot of churches do a lot of good things. But what is your story? And how has your story intersected with the story of Christ Church? And in the coming year, what other stories will be told? And what other stories of people who have not yet entered these doors will we get the opportunity to impact and then have them impact us? So it's important work we're doing, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part. If you're not already a part, I would invite and encourage you to be a part. And if I haven't met you yet, I really look forward to meeting you. And that is all.